Eyewitness News is your election authority, and the polls open in about 10 days right now. Can you believe it? That's the countdown, and many of you will be deciding the fate of some very big projects when you cast your votes. In fact, 28 towns across the state have ballot questions, some on projects costing millions of dollars. Channel 3's Mike Savino gives us a look at some big ticket items in Newington, East Hartford, and Coventry.
We have lights that don't work on the stage. There's the tile on the flooring is cracked and peeling.
Most of Newington's schools have undergone renovations in recent years, but Anne Reynolds Elementary School has been left behind.
And this is a building that was built in the 50s, so it's just at that time.
Newington voters will decide whether to move forward with a $35.5 million renovation project. The project will replace a leaking roof and uneven gym floor. Other changes include making the nurse's office compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Not a small number, but it's not going to go any smaller, unfortunately.
Thanks to a reimbursement from the state, the town will need to fund only $17.75 million of the $35 million project. Newington's project isn't the only renovation effort on ballots. In Coventry, the library committee is seeking approval to borrow $750,000 to redo the Booth and Dimick Library.
We can move our elevator, which is now right in the middle of the library, over to here. And that will allow people to access it directly, from the entrance.
The rest of the $1.7 million would come from grants and money left over from other library projects. One of the library's problems is also a leaky roof. The original library was built in 1913, but leaks are in the addition built in 1989.
The problem with, kinds of resources and materials we have in the library is that they are very, very susceptible to damage from damp of any kinds.
The renovation would also create outside access to the library's community room, allowing groups to use it after hours. Past efforts to upgrade the library, including an expansion, have failed to get enough support. East Hartford, meanwhile, is seeking $36.6 million for various projects around town.
East Hartford has always deferred maintenance to many of its town-owned buildings in an effort to defer any cost increases to the taxpayers.
$11.6 million would pay for new roofs at the middle and high schools. The town's share for that would be $4 million. Another $15 million would cover road repairs over a 2-year period. The final $10 million would go to improvements to town hall and other town buildings.
I think what people forget is that we're not talking about drawing the money down immediately. It's actually putting and planning in place.
If voters approve the funding, LeClaire says the town would then prioritize its needs and start making upgrades. Some potential needs include the town hall's electrical and heating and ventilation systems. From East Hartford, Mike Savino, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.